You're so silly. I'm live with my little brat. Peek out. He's hiding behind me being silly. He wanted to say hi to you guys, so hi. That's my brat, Dacian.
I'm about to make some Spanish. Wait, how long will the live be?
I don't know. But he wanted to say hi to you guys. Let me know if you are tuning in. Say hi, say wave, do any of that. Today is not going to be a real serious live. We're going to reminisce a little bit. I'm just inviting a few friends.
Want to tell them that sorry that they
No, Dace, you can go. I'm not talking about that today. He trying to be my little assistant. Like, oh, remind him, tell him that you're sorry for not going live on Monday. This kid, he think he the adult. But thanks for tuning in, you guys. Dace, don't play. Stop. Today's live is about they don't make them like they used to. This live came about a week ago. I was talking to some friends and we were just reminiscing on our childhood, talking about how these new generation kids are a lot different than how we were. And that's where the topic came in to play. We were talking about like how these kids, like, they're more sensitive than we are. And we're like, how are they different? So much different than we are. Hey, Randy, happy holidays. And we were just reminiscing on that. And it's so crazy because these kids are way different than how we were. They're not as tough as we were. They're really emotional. Stuff like that. So we were reminiscing. So I wrote down like a list. I can't even count how many on this list. A list of things that we were reminiscing about. Like how kids are not as tough. How we had to go outside and play. We drank water from the water hose. It didn't do nothing to us. We couldn't come in and out of the house. Now these kids nowadays, you barely can get them outside to go have fun and play. They stopped doing that. And how we literally got locked outside. You only could come in the house to use the restroom. And I was trying to tell my son that, like, there was no coming in and out. It was like the only excuse to come in the house when the adults are talking is to use the bathroom. And then you better pretend like you wasn't listening to the conversation. And you darn sure better not try to interrupt or respond to some adult talking. What was another thing? We had to be in the house before the street lights came on. Like, if the street lights came on before you got home, like with us, my mom would be waiting at the corner with a belt in her hand, ready to get you, because you know you're supposed to be in the house. She shouldn't have to come outside looking for you. We didn't have we had phones in our teen years, but that was before we had cell phones and stuff. They couldn't call you and be like, come home. No, they had to go look for you in the streets. We walked miles to school, holding an instrument. I was in marching band and jazz band my first 2 years of high school. But we literally used to walk with a trumpet, and my cousins had their saxophones and stuff. Literally would walk miles to school. Nobody bothered us. It was always a group of us. Just make sure. Yes. Yes, Randy, make sure you're in before the street lights come on. And I do that with my son. People be like, you so old fashioned. But I'm like, this was our rules. If he do go outside, I tell him, be home. I shouldn't have to come look for you. I shouldn't have to call you. None of that. Back in the day, punishment was getting sent in the house. Yes, nowadays, you got to go inside. Trina, that is so true. I be like, go outside. Get out of my business. You all in my space. Like, I need my me time. Go outside and play. Go ride your bike. Like, I literally got to force him to go outside. I caught I was looking at a little kid at the bus stop. I'm like, ain't that kid too small to be catching a bus? Like, what type of parents let their kid catch the bus? Then I remembered I was like 8 when I used to catch the bus from LA to Compton with my twin sister to elementary. So I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom used to have us catching the bus at that young age. And it's so crazy because I look at other people and I be looking like, you know what? My mom did that. We got left at home. Me and my sister were like the oldest. We used to watch all my little cousins. And it was so funny because I'm like, they used to go to Vegas and leave me and my sister to watch like 4 of our little cousins. And leave us with like $100, $200. We catch the bus, go to the movies. We had like a daily budget. It was so crazy because I look at it now as a parent coach and be like, that was so crazy that they left us at home while they go out and have their me time. And like at 11, I took care of my brother. So he was born when I was 11. And we used to have to like take him to daycare on our way to school and pick him up after school, because my mom used to work in the morning, go to school at night. So we had him most of the day until she came home. We were cooking at the age of 10. So we were literally like raising my brother at a really young age. We used to catch the city bus, walk through woods. Yeah, we used to take shortcuts through the park. Sometimes we used to ride our bike. Our parents used to send us to the store on a bike. And we grew up in the hood. And one person would stay outside the store and watch the bike while the other person go in and get all the groceries. It was so funny. It's like now I would never let my son go. Homework had to be done before you went outside. You used to hurry up and come straight home. Hurry up and do your homework so you could have more time to spend outside. Or we used to catch the bus home and do our homework on the bus on our way home. We had to get a book from the library every week. My mom was really big on education, and like literally we had to check out a book every week. Dace, don't you see I'm on the video? Don't do that. I already told you 2 minutes. And like we checked out books. We had library cards. Now I do that with my son. Our bonding time, we go to the library, but we don't check out books. We buy them because they sell them really cheap here. Saturday mornings, everybody knew that was a cleanup day. You wake up early in the morning, got to clean the whole house spotless. And the way my mom was set up, we lived in a townhouse, so it was upstairs, downstairs, 3-bedroom. We had to wash walls on the stairway because if people touched the walls going up and down, she didn't play. And let one dish be dirty, all the dishes are going back in the sink. Let your room not be spotless. As soon as you come home, if she told you to clean your room that night and she go and look at it while you're at school, you would come. If one thing is on the floor out of place, you would come home. She take everything out of every drawer, everything out the closet, and all your stuff would be dumped in the middle of the floor, bed, strip, everything, and you would have to start all over and basically do a big spring clean. My mom didn't play. She was really strict, but she was the most lenient parent ever. She had a lot of trust in us. We were straight A students and honor students, so we never gave her any problems, never got in trouble. Me and my twin sister never even got in a fight a day in our life. We never got suspended. We were like the good girls. We were not the problem kids. My brothers, on the other hand, are all like, they gave them enough trouble for me and my sister not getting in trouble. And we were the oldest and the only girls. We had to, it's so crazy because I think back now, my childhood friends, we were the only ones that our friends that parents, my mom used to let us have co-ed sleepovers and stuff. But when we had sleepover, when it was just the girls, my mom was one of those frugal parents who would make me and my friends share a shower. We had to double up on the shower because she's like, y'all not about to run up my water bill. It was so crazy because we seen our friends naked because my mom forced us to take a shower together. And it was so crazy because we like look at it now as adults. We were like, we actually had to take showers together as kids, because I still had the same childhood friends that I grew up with. I've known since elementary, some preschool. And a lot of my other friends in LA I met when I was 8 years old. We all have kids now, and all of our kids are friends now. And I was telling my son that they won't have that opportunity to really have the same connection, because nowadays people don't stay in one spot long like that. We lived in the same house for like 15 plus years. So we had the same friends because everybody lived in the same neighborhood forever. Me and my sister were always like, as adult people, like, you always working, you always got a backup career, a backup job to the backup job, stuff like that. I've always been a hustler. My mom was like that at a young age. She always either braided hair. That's how I learned how to braid hair at 10. I used to braid hair at PE in middle school. I wouldn't get dressed for PE and be braiding people's hair, charging them $5, $10. I did that in high school, braid the football players' hair, the basketball players' hair. But that was my side hustle. We sell candy. We used to do all kind of stuff. I worked since I was 14. So I never just only done one thing. And people be wondering, how do you do that? Like, I grew up like that. That's how my mom was. That's how my aunts were. They were all like stay-at-home wives and mothers. But they always had a side hustle to make money doing hair. So I watched them braid hair. Then I had to start braiding my cousin's hair. Now my cousin braid all of our hair. So it's like we pass it down from each generation. Basically, we in the summer, we didn't plan our summers. We didn't have an option to choose what we're gonna do in the summer. We wasn't gonna be sitting at home, that's for sure. Our parents used to literally send us to summer camp. And we used to go to like 2 summer camps each day. And we went to swimming lessons twice. So we'd go swimming lessons one summer camp, swimming lessons the other summer camp. I swear to God, we done graduated from swimming lessons like 6 years in a row. From multiple parks. It was so funny because we were like, we could be certified lifeguards. We done graduated swimming lessons so much. But we went every year because it was free and to get out the house. And that's what our parents made us do. They see nonstop. Even in the summer when my mom and my aunt went to college, we would be on the college campus. They would have us and all our cousins sitting in class with them. That's how I learned a lot of math and was educated in a lot of topics way beyond my years, way sooner than I was supposed to, because we used to go to college with our mom. She'd be like, I'm a single mom. I don't have a babysitter. My kids are going to come with me. We're going to sit in the back class and be quiet. So we used to just participate and learn the math and stuff. But that's kind of probably why we were honor students when we did get to that high school level and start doing that math and stuff. We always had to be in extracurricular activities. Like in high school alone, I was in every school play, either singing, dancing, or playing an instrument. I was in the gifted and talented programs. I was in marching band, I was in advanced choir, I was in jazz band, I was in dance. It was just a lot. We always did something. We couldn't be just bored sitting around the house. Even in middle school, we ran track, we played softball, we was in drill team, we was in choir. It was always consistency and being productive. So that's why I'm a hard worker now. I never like having like downtime because I'm used to always being productive. We used to go from one practice to the next. And I let my son have a little freedom now. Like he get the chance to be at home and actually play with other kids and have a childhood, but he didn't have a lot of extracurricular activities yet. Because I didn't start him really until I was like 10 or 11, and he's getting ready to turn 10. We had one rule when we went to the store. Everybody know that talk you get in the car before going into the store. My grandmother rule was eyes on, hands off. You can look at it, but you can't touch it. And that's always been the rule from generation to generation. When you go to people's house, don't touch nothing. You better sit down, be quiet, act like you're not there. But eyes on, hands off. And our room as a twin, me and my sister, we pretty much shared the same friends until we got a little older. Then we started having our separate friends. But as a kid, when it was just me and her, and being the oldest and the only girls, the rule was if your sister can't go, you can't go. So we had no choice but to have the same friends because we had to go to the same places together. We always had to stick together. Like I always had my road dog with me. And that's why we're like best friends. We weren't allowed to like argue and fight and stuff like that. We didn't grow up in a dysfunctional household or a family. Never fight your siblings or your cousins, like they're family. If you argued or tried to argue, you would stand in a corner and hug each other until they get tired of looking at you. That was your form of punishment. And you can't get mad at somebody, you got to sit and hug. So you get over it, and then you learn to just love them. You don't get mad anymore. I know one time me and my sister and my mom went out of town, and we were home by ourselves for like 2 or 3 days. We slap boxed for like 10 hours. Because we're twins, like we feel each other pain when it's major pain. So we'll be hurting each other anyway if we try to fight or something. But we literally open hand slap box and just hit each other for hours until we got tired because we were so mad at each other and nobody was there to stop us.
What are these for?
You can have those.
These are for the kids.
You can have those with what you're eating now. But we literally slap boxed for so many hours. We were red with webs all over our arms and stuff, and then we were back really cool, and we had to share a room at that time, so it was really funny. Hey Danielle. Let me see. We was able to pick our own religion at the age of 10. My mom, we were baptized Catholic at a really, really young age when we were infants. So like once we turned 10 years old, my mom gave us a choice to pick our own religion. So we started going to church with our our friend and their moms and stuff to a Christian church to explore other religions. But it was fun to be able to make that decision. And we started going to a Christian church ever since then. We didn't ever really go back to a Catholic church because we never really understood it anyway. But growing up in a Catholic family, and then half of my family like Muslim and Catholic, we were the only ones pretty much going to a Christian church. But it was really fun to be able to make that decision at that age. That's why I haven't baptized my son yet, because I want him to be able to make the decision of what he wants to be baptized as. And let me see, we were tomboys as a kid. A lot of the girls were. Nowadays, you don't really see the girls climbing trees, playing football with the boys, running in the street. I was like the fastest girl in my gated community. I used to race all the boys. I would never show skin until like high school. I used to wear baggy pants, those Bugle Boy jeans, and I used to wear long sleeve shirts and tennis shoes all the time. You would never catch me in sandals. Now I don't even have tennis shoes. Like, I only wear sandals and heels. And it's so opposite of how I was as a kid. I was really rough. I used to be fighting the boys and everything, like wrestling with them, because I had a lot of brothers. So we used to be real rough and hanging on trees and hopping gates and stuff. You don't see a lot of girls playing outside with the boys and stuff. That's probably why now I don't really have female friends. Like, I have female associates, but most of my close friends, 99% are male. And it's so crazy because that's how I was growing up. I was always like the sis. We played a lot outside. Let me see. We didn't really deal with bullying because, like, growing up, we used to sit in a circle and just bag on each other and tell jokes and talk about each other. And I guess that's how we built the thick skin. When people said something to us, we brushed it off, laugh, and we go back at it with them. They talk about your mama, you talk about their mama, and we see who jokes are better. You used to be at home practicing jokes that you're going to tell tomorrow at school. So it wasn't really bullying. It was just all fun and games. Nobody took it to heart. You didn't see kids killing themselves because somebody talked about them at school. Nowadays, these kids are so sensitive. They cry. Take it to the principal. You have all these meetings and stuff and all these seminars about bullying and anti-bullying. And I'm like, we used to do that for fun. Talk about people. When people put their hands on you, it's a different story. But when we used to joke around and stuff, talk about people, you didn't take it serious. You brush it off. That's what made you more tough. And how you built the tough skin. We got plenty of exercise in, riding bikes. That's when I was growing up, we had a lot of dance groups because people used to do the clown dancing and stuff. Tommy the Clown used to be at our gated community all the time. My friend cousin was in the group, and he used to call us the Ghetto Spice Girls because we used to always be dancing at every party and having fun. Anybody grew up in LA know Tommy the Clown. But we rode bikes, we skated, we did double dutch a lot because we used to compete against each other doing jump rope. We used to race a lot, but dancing was our big thing. We used to be in my friend's garage doing choreography. We danced every single day. So all of us stayed fit for a very long time. Plus, like in my family, when one person got in trouble, everybody got in trouble. So it was like one of the one band, one sound type of things. And we were held accountable for the next person. So one cousin got in trouble. My uncles and like my grandfather and stuff, they were military. We used to have to line up and watch each other get whooped. And then you had to do 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups. So it was no joke. You didn't want to get in trouble. You held the other person accountable because you know they're about to act up, and you know if they get in trouble, we all get in trouble. So you put them in check like, hey, chill out. Like, why are y'all arguing? Sit down, be quiet, because you didn't want to get in trouble. So that was our accountability is punish everybody together because they're going to eventually get on the person that's getting them in trouble all the time. And it was always one cousin, always got us all in trouble. But we used to check them, be ready to beat them up. Like, no, if you get us in trouble, we going to get you. Let me see. They don't really have candy houses anymore. We grew up with a ton of candy houses. Like, that was our thing to do after school, go to the candy house. There was this one candy house in the trailer park. They used to have, like, the best nachos and icy and stuff. We used to go over there all the time. You save your lunch money, go to the candy house. They don't do that anymore. It's like you can't even trust your kids going to people's house no more because these predators, and you don't know who at those houses. Parents used to be able to pop up at schools. I still do it. I go talk to the principal. Everybody know me. I introduce myself. I let them know about my services, and I go in and volunteer and help. I'm actually working with the school now to see like how I can contribute as a parent coach, being able to come volunteer in class and deal with the kids with the behavioral issues, stuff like that. But we used to get whooped in front of the class. Let you be acting up and your parent get caught. But me, I was one of those bad kids where I had a mouth, just like my son. That's why a lot of times I don't get mad at him when he's talking and stuff, because I was the same way. Basically, they used to be like, oh, I'm calling your mom. And I'd be like, you want to use my phone? I'll call her for you. That was me. Smart mouth. In the class, be like, oh, Monique. And I was always known for being the one that speak up for everybody, never bite the tongue. I was the leader. And I always looked really innocent. But people would be like, Monique, don't play. Like, she's not going to bite her tongue with you. And I always been, like, really blunt and 100. And that was in elementary. They used to call my aunts. They would sit in the class with me and I would still act the same. I didn't change it up just because my mom or my aunt was there. They were like, we don't know what to do with you. But I had high test scores. I was a straight A student. I was just bored. Just like my son be like, you done all your work. You finished. You don't got nothing else to do. You start talking to other people and they get mad. And I'm like, well, give me some more work. My mom used to always tell them, give her some more work. She's not challenged. Like, she's not getting enough work. She's bored. But that used to be me, and my son is the exact same way. So it's crazy because his dad be like, I don't know where you get it from. I'd be like, I know, because I was exactly just like him. But that's what I wanted to come live with you guys and talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed a little reminiscing with me, and thank you guys for tuning in. I have some more topics that I'll be talking about later this week. And I might be announcing something soon. I'm still putting things together and working it out. What do you want?
Bye, everyone.
My little brat. He want attention while I'm giving you guys attention. When he been sitting here all day ignoring me, watching Netflix. But thank you guys. Happy holidays. Just in case you didn't see my Merry Christmas yesterday. Well, the other day. This year is already about to be gone. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But I have some amazing things I'll be doing next year. I am accepting new clients starting next month. Now that the holidays are pretty much over, I could open up my roster for at least 10 people. Only 5 for, hey Roy, only 5 for my Co-Parent Like a Boss program, since that's a longer program. But I am taking in people for my one-on-one services. You can check out my website. It's MoniqueAtkinsCoaching.com. I forgot to put it in the bio. But if you think you're ready for a change, it's a new year, new beginnings. If you want to get help with your child's behavioral issues before they go back to school, or co-parenting, just message me. We can have a conversation to see if I'm a good fit for you or if you're a good fit for my services, because I don't work with just anybody. I don't care if you're paying me or not. Some people are not ready for change, and I don't have time to waste, because there's more people out there that need my service that I want to help, that actually take it serious. So just message me if you want to have a conversation, and we'll see where it goes from there to see if you're a good fit. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll be back soon before the new year with a few more messages. Have a nice day. Bye.